In this video, we're going to look at some examples of first certificate sentence transformations. My name is Matt and welcome back to Fantastic Phrasal. This is the second video about sentence transformations. There is a link in the description of this video where you can try the questions we're going to look at. You may wish to pause this video now and try them before continuing. If you are unsure about the rules or technique for this kind of question, I recommend that you watch the first video. The link is also in the description to this video. Now let's start with the first question. David last went to a concert in August. The key word is been, and the second sentence is David hasn't blank August. We can notice immediately that the first sentence contains went and the second sentence contains hasn't. From this we can deduce that we have to transfer the past simple to the present perfect. When we delete the information common to both sentences, we are left with last went to a concert in. In the second sentence we have hasn't, so we can add the key word been first to create a verb in the present perfect. When we add to a concert, we have one word left that we can add. We will use since. The correct answer is been to a concert since. You would receive 1 point for been to a and 1 point for concert since. That's the first question done. Now let's move on to number 2. You must pay for your drinks when you order them. The key word is paid, and you have to complete the second sentence, which is drinks must blank, they are ordered. When we look at the two sentences, we can see that the object of the verb in the first sentence, drinks, has been brought to the beginning of the second sentence. This suggests that we are going to transfer an active verb to a passive verb. If we cross out the information which is common to both sentences, we are left with you, pay for, and when. We have already deduced that we are going to use a passive verb in the second sentence, and the key word is paid, a past participle. To make the verb passive, we need to use the verb to be with a past participle. To follow the modal verb must, we need to use be, an infinitive, and then we can add the past participle. Don't forget the preposition for and of course when. The correct answer is be paid for when. You would receive 1 point for be paid and 1 point for when. On to question 3. If you study a lot, you will get better results. The key word is better, and you have to complete the second sentence, which is the more blank results you will get. The first thing we notice about this question is the theme of comparatives. We have better in the first sentence, more in the second sentence, and the key word is better. Like with the previous question, we can cross out any information which is contained in both sentences. The words that are left are if you study a lot and better. In this question, we are given a big clue from the first two words of the second sentence. We think about the comparative structure, the with the comparative, followed by the with a comparative. With this in mind, we can complete the second sentence so that it contains two comparatives. The answer to this question is you study the better. You would receive 1 point for you study and 1 point for the better. Let's move on to question 4. Laura loves playing the guitar despite her not being very good at it. The key word is although, and you have to complete the second sentence, which is Laura loves playing the guitar, blank, very good at it. The first thing we can notice in this question is that despite in the first sentence and the keyword although have very similar meanings. If we cross out the information which is common to both sentences, we have a clearer idea of what we have to write. The words which are left in the first sentence are despite her not being. We need to rewrite this using although. I mentioned before that despite and although have similar meanings, but they require different grammar. Despite is followed either by a noun or a gerund, and although is followed by a clause. If we go back to the question, we can complete the second sentence using although and a clause. We can use the same verb as in the first sentence, to be. The answer to this question is, although she is not. You would receive 1 point for although she, and 1 point for is not. On to question 5. Without Tom's mechanical knowledge, we wouldn't have arrived at our destination. The key word is been, and the second sentence is, if blank, Tom's mechanical knowledge, we wouldn't have arrived at our destination. The first sentence talks about the past, and the second sentence begins with if, so we can assume that it will contain a third conditional. If we cross out the information which is common to both sentences, the information left in the first sentence is without. So we need an expression used in third conditionals which means without. The correct answer is it had not been for. You would receive 1 point for it had not and 1 point for been for. Let's look at the final question. I ran too slowly to win the race. The key word is quickly, and the second sentence is I didn't blank win the race. The first thing to notice in this question is the contrast between the words slowly in the first sentence and the key word quickly. When we cross out the information common to both sentences, we are left with ran too slowly to. The second sentence gives us didn't, so we will add run to make a negative verb. We can add the adverb quickly to that, so now we just have to convey the meaning of to. We use to with a positive verb in the first sentence, but we have a negative verb in the second sentence, so we will use enough instead. After enough, we need an infinitive, so we will add the word to. The correct answer is run quickly enough to. You would receive 1 point for run quickly and 1 point for enough to. I hope you found this video useful. If you would like to see more videos like this, let me know in the comments below. And don't forget to like this video and subscribe to my channel. See you next time.